the next level.
Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. This is Coach Tiffany Parra, editor-in-chief of Phoenix Fitness Fanatics magazine, elevating your mind, body, and spirit. Today, we have our Authors Network, where we celebrate authors from all over the world for their accomplishments and their courageousness for getting out there and really just sharing their voice, which is very, very hard to do sometimes. So I'm going to bring in a couple of our contributing writers from the Phoenix Fitness Fanatics family. We're taking center stage on the Own It Publishing platform. Let's go ahead and bring them on in. Hey, we got Teresa in the house.
Hi, everyone.
And we've got Stephanie.
Hi.
And Sabine.
Hello, everyone.
And let me just make sure, let me check backstage because sometimes they sneak on in. All right, we got everybody in the house tonight. So welcome, ladies, to our Authors Network Spotlight, spotlighting you all for all the amazing things that you all do. We're going to go ahead and just take a moment to just share with the audience who you are, where you are, and just a little bit about what you do. And we're going to dig into our question of the evening. So Teresa, we'll go ahead and start with you. Just go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I'm Teresa Palmer, and I am a holistic cardiology nurse practitioner. And right now, I reside in Alabama, hoping to reside over the next year or so on the Gulf Coast because I love the ocean. And what I do is I am the nurse who connects individuals to their heart. And in doing so, I connect them to their own personal power and their ability to have increased heart health and overall general well-being.
Awesome. Thanks, Teresa. Stephanie, please take a moment to introduce yourself.
My name is Stephanie Malink. I am the owner of Write by Steph and the Collinsville Daily News under the umbrella of Malink Publishing. I am a full-service professional business writer, editor, and publisher, and I help people speak their own voice through whatever means that they are comfortable with. If they need a blog, I'll do that. If they need a new resume to get a job, I make sure that reflects their strong points. I will do letters of recommendations for people. I edit people's dissertations so that they can move into higher education and continuing to teach the next generation of learners. And then I keep people informed on their communities through city council and county board meetings. And then I also allow people to submit letters to the editor where they can speak their mind and let people know. And then I also feature authors in my paper.
Awesome. Thanks, Stephanie.
And I'm a 3-time author, 4-time.
All right, Sabine.
Hi, I'm Sabine. I am German living in the Dominican Republic. So the beach you see behind me, that is my backyard, I used to say. And I am the owner of Lunovi Real Estate. This is my real estate agency. I am also a developer with my own construction company. I am also author twice yet, being busy with my third one. and yes, and I help people get wealthy with good real estate investments, and I also help them transform their life over to the Dominican Republic from burnout to bliss, so into a better and healthier lifestyle.
Good, good. Thank you so much, Sabine. Well, we've got some amazing ladies in the house tonight, as you can see, and we're going to dig on in. So, being an author, I mean, everyone, they're going to touch on, just what they write about and really just share, the messaging behind our writing. I have Becoming a Girl Powerhouse, volume 1, 2, and 3, which is 45 women sharing their stories from trauma to triumph. My message was of being resilient, that we can get through anything and everything that comes at us in life, right? It doesn't matter what it is, whether it be, a cancer diagnosis, whether it be a narcissistic situation, whether it be a bad accident that has, taken your ability to do certain things. We can be, resilient if we just have that belief in ourselves. And that's really the message that I typically, drive home in, my messaging and in the new themes. Sabine is actually part of our new uh, Unsnapped anthology that's coming out. And that's really talking about the craziness that's going on in the world. How do we stay cool, calm, and collected in today's society? And Steph's also helping us to bring that to fruition as well. So let's go ahead and go around the room because we all have, again, some writing out there. Share with the audience what you have written, and where they can purchase your writing, your books, and then what message do you hope that your readers walk away from, after they read your book or after they read your chapters that you have, contributed into books. So we'll go ahead and we'll start with you, Teresa, then we'll go to you, Stephanie, and we'll have you bring it home, Sabine.
Okay. I am author of a book. It's called Heal Your Heart from Within. It was published in mid 2022. And originally, my book was written for my patients in cardiology. And the idea came, I had the idea for 20 some years and just never acted on it until 2020, when one of my patients said that with everything that was going on and everything I was teaching them, our practice was open the entire time throughout 2020, that the patient said to me, "You should write a book." And I have all the information. I've always thought about it. I've just never done it. So then I started thinking seriously about it. I did it. I got published through Balboa Press, which is a division of Hay House. And my message, which has been the same message for over 30 years in practice, is that it is important to listen to your heart and to have a connection to your heart, because that's really where you reside. And by you, I mean yourself, your inner knowing, your intuition. It's also the gateway to your health, because if you look at your heart gives and sustains life. Your heart's a miracle. So if your heart's a miracle, that means you're a miracle. You're unique. Your heartbeat is unique. And we've become disconnected from ourselves through society, through the environment, through a lot of different mechanisms. We're told to be in our head where all the logic is and not to be in our heart. And the truth is you have to be both. So by connecting to your heart, then you connect to your brain, the brain in your head. So you've got a brain in your heart, a brain in your head. Boom, when they work together, you make the best possible choices. You live your best life possible. And you also become a partner in your health and well-being, because now you're empowered, and you're empowered to be able to take care of yourself. So that's my story and my book. I also was a featured, it wasn't an author, I was a featured individual in a coffee table book that was called 50 Fearless Leaders. And that was highlighting the work that I had done as a holistic cardiology nurse practitioner for a span of over 25 years. And then I was also part of the anthology Unleashed, which came out in 2024. So I've been both ends, and they're both very important. I've had somebody write about me, which was 50 Fearless Leaders. I wrote about being resilient and your heart is a superpower and unleashed. And then I had my own book, which got traditionally published through a publishing house. And all three are everything's important, whether somebody's writing about you, you're writing a chapter, or you're writing a whole book. It's all important, and I encourage everyone to do it. Just get out there, do it. Start writing things down. You'll have a book or a chapter. Thank you.
Absolutely. Love that. And I love that you've been on both sides of it. So you know how to, create your own, book and go through that. And then working with other people to create, an anthology and things like that. Sometimes you're working with, various, just personalities, things like that as well. So I love that, Teresa. So thank you so much for sharing. So Stephanie, so what about you? So what's the message that you hope that readers walk away from with reading your books, and share a little bit about what your books are all about as well?
All three of my books and my anthology that I have contributed a chapter to, all of them, the message is the same, even though they're very different topics. You are the master of your own destiny. You control whether you die at home or in a nursing home. You determine whether or not you are constantly sick from putting chemicals in your body, or if you are healthy. You are in charge of whether or not you're using your brain to do your writing, or if you're relying on ChatGPT. Only you are responsible for overcoming your traumas as a younger person to become a strong and successful adult. You can't blame everything on your parents. You can't blame everything on your exes. At some point, you have to take accountability for yourself. So my books are the ABCs of Living Independently When You're Older or Frail, second edition. I wrote the first one over 20 years ago. I have the Ultimate Beginner's Guide to Clean Living. And then my third book is AI and Writing Dangers to Journalistic and Creative Writers. Those are all available on numerous platforms that if you go to my website, you can find those.
Awesome. Thanks, Steph. All right, Sabine. So what are your messaging? And also share with everyone, what you've written in, because you've written in a couple of things, and also share what your messaging is, in those as well.
Yeah, I have never thought that I would write a book, and I didn't think I have a story to write even. But being in the ONET and the Venus Fitness group, I learned that yes, everybody has a story to tell, and someone might take advantage of what you can tell them. So I contributed to the anthology Unleashed. And then actually there I was talking about my own life, like being a German, moving to the Dominican Republic, just because I couldn't stand the way of living in Germany anymore. And it was so much stress and I had to get away from it. And people think it's not possible or very hard to do it. And actually, a little bit, yes, but it's possible. So if you can dream it, you can live it. And at some point you have to take the strings of your own life in your hands and go another direction. And in this chapter, I talk about, the transformation over here and the obstacles and what it meant and what you need to bring, like, self-confidence and so on. So then I have the second book I contributed is the Confident and Sexy, which is, I was talking about envy in women's business life, that things that we see every day and how you can overcome it and stay strong and believe in yourself. Both are Amazon bestsellers. So now we're working on the Unsnapped. So it's, and I'm working also on an ebook that includes as well as transformation into a better life, like, better food, better way of living, more relaxing, seeing the nature around you, as well as how to, get into the real estate and how you can get wealthy with good investments. So it's a combination of everything. And it's as I said, everybody has a story to tell, and you don't need to be someone famous or have special skills. You can always, talk about what you think is important in life and share this with others, and maybe you can lift someone else up.
That's right. That's right. I really feel like our stories are not our stories, right, ladies? I mean, they really aren't. We have to share the experiences, we have to share the knowledge that we've been gifted with, because we've worked very hard to gain all the knowledge and wisdom that we have as well. So I think it is definitely a blessing when we can be a blessing to others and share our messaging out there. And I know there's a lot of people out there that they want to share their story, but they're just they maybe there's a fear there, or they just sometimes people just feel like their message is just not important, right? So I want to go around the room and let's just share just some words of wisdom, words of encouragement, because we've all been there. We've all been on that line. I remember that first time having to put that pen to paper and write that first chapter, and it was almost like pulling teeth. I remember my coach telling me that, like, gosh, working with you is like pulling teeth because you just don't want to get these 1,200 words out. And now I love writing. So Teresa, share, just some words of wisdom, words of encouragement, and then also follow up with how everyone can get in contact if they would like to work with you, or if they would also like to tap into getting your books as well.
Okay. Well, I always loved writing. I always loved speaking. I've been a distinguished Toastmaster for over 20 years. So I've spoken in public quite a bit. And I always said speaking and writing are two sides of the same coin. So a lot of people think that they're very different, that if you're a public speaker, you're not a writer. If you're a writer, you can't go out there and speak. But honestly, it's giving a story. It's just one is verbalizing it through a microphone and one is verbalizing it on paper. I think everybody does have a story to tell, and it's not really about us, it's about the reader. And I think when we write, we're called to write, we're called to give a specific message. For me, that message was about the heart. It's not my personal story per se. Do I walk the walk and talk the talk? I certainly do, because you can't work with others and you can't teach others without doing that. But I would say to anybody, just start by writing your thoughts down. You could even do a journal and just write every day. Whatever comes to your mind, write it down. And then what happens is it starts piecing together. And before you know it, you have at least 1,200 words that you could put into a story. Anthologies are great because you could write a chapter. You have a certain amount of time, so it's not like you have to do it overnight. You do have a certain amount of time, so you could pace yourself. And what is it that you have to say that other people need to hear? Is it something you went through a trauma? Possibly. Or is it something in your profession? Is it a lifestyle, a way of living? It could be anything. Everybody has a message. And if you sit quietly, even for 5 minutes a day, your heart will tell you that message. You'll get that message, you'll get that inspiration, and just take out that pen and paper. Or if you prefer a computer, I'm old fashioned, I like a pen and paper. So that's what I have to say. You could reach me. I have a website, www.wellbeinggal.com, all one word, WELLBEINGGAL.com. I will be updating it. Soon I will be offering a free gift also in exchange for email. And you could buy my book on Amazon.com or BalboaPress.com. And again, it's called Heal Your Heart from Within. And it's actually my backdrop, but I'm covering up the writing.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right, Stephanie.
Like Teresa said, just take it one word at a time. Set yourself some quiet time. If you're totally stuck, think of an outline first. You don't have to just start spilling your guts out. Think about what do you want to talk about in your book, and then take 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 of the main topics that stick together and just write on each of those. Who are you, and know who your audience is. Once you know who your audience is, you know what kind of language to use with them. You know if they have experience or if you're starting from the beginning. My book, The Ultimate Beginner's Guide to Clean Living, that's what it is. It's literally for people that have lived the American lifestyle of cruddy food, cruddy cleaning products, cruddy cosmetics, and it's starting to affect their bodies. So I tell you how different parts of the body react to different chemicals and things and what you can replace those items with. My books are all available on my website through about 12 different vendors. So if you're not an Amazon person, there's other choices on there. They are all available in ebook format. The others are the AI book is not available in print yet because it is something that's constantly changing. I'm going to have to update it again this year probably. But the others, they're ready to go. And I'm also going to be working on a children's book this year. So
Awesome. Very good. Thanks, Steph. All right, Sabi.
Yes, I think also, as Teresa said, if you just listen into yourself and you get what you want to write about, and it's like just it's also like a reflection, a self reflection of what things you had in the past or things that you would like to share with someone or where you would like to have help from others. So just sharing your story or whatever is important for you, it helps you yourself and it helps your readers. So it's not that hard. It's actually easy if you can just listen to your gut and heart and mind.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Just write it down, everybody. Just write it down. Whatever those thoughts that come, and was it Teresa that said, get a journal, as well. Because again, a lot of those thoughts and things that we have, as we're writing them down, as we're going through our days and we're having, different times, there's other people that are dealing with those same exact challenges, those same situations, and they want to hear that someone else is going through the same thing, so they have faith that they can get through it too because they're watching you get through it. So please share your stories and get them out there. So if you all want to connect with Teresa, Stephanie, Sabine, you can also see them all in the Phoenix Fitness Fanatics magazine monthly. They all share their brilliance in there in their articles. So definitely subscribe. Go to Phoenix Fitness Fanatics mag2021.com and get your subscription. And if you are a health and wellness professional or a business owner that wants a little bit more visibility, you want to shine a little more, you want to share what you got going on out there in the world, definitely tap into us as well. We always are looking for contributing writers in Phoenix Fitness Fanatics as well as the Own It publishing platform. We have collectively 9 magazines in the platform, so there's a lot of different places to tap in. So we want to thank you all so much for joining today for our Authors Network Spotlight. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me today. Keep on rocking it in the world out there. Keep on sharing your messages of hope, of resilience, and just of love and all of your experience out there. We love you so much, and we will see you guys next time. Take care, everybody. See you next time.